begin, I do need to just give a quick acknowledgement to my teammates who have found time to make it out here to support me, even during midterms week. I love you guys. Thank you so much. So when talking about women unifying and women coming together, really we're having a conversation of intersectionality and solidarity among feminists, womanists, and activists. Throughout history, we have seen innumerable triumphs spearheaded by women. Some examples including Mary Wollstonecraft's publication of the Vindication of the Rights of Women, the suffragettes in the first wave of feminism, gaining the right for women to vote, second wave feminists making strides in reproductive justice and passing Title IX, an amendment I personally benefited very much from, as well as third waivers, creation of the slut walk, a popular political march against rape and rape culture. These are some examples of what can be achieved when women are able to unify to create positive and effective social change. Our feminist ancestors have told us to be empowered and have taught us how to find that empowerment in terms of ourselves and not in context of a male counterpart. Concurrently, they have also taught us that there is always more work to be done. The patriarchal framework that has been shaken by our predecessors is unfortunately not dismantled. The only feasible way we as women can manage to further the abolition of the patriarchy is to consider and to fully comprehend the profound importance of intersectionality. In the 21st century, a time where we are constantly interacting with people of vastly different backgrounds and orientations, etc., it is so important to be conscious of the varying necessities of others, specifically female-identified people. Intersectionality is a theory, and it's been around for a while. I've heard enough about it in my WGS classes, as I'm sure some of the people in the room have as well. But it was a term officially coined by Kimberly Crenshaw in the late 1900s. Intersectionality, in short, is a theory that examines the different intersects of oppression and oppressed groups of people. It says that in order to destroy the patriarchal society that we live in, we cannot aim to just go about and abolish only one form of oppression. For example, imagine that our country managed to get rid of sexism and all kinds of sexist thoughts. That would be great, but would majoritively wise only benefit one group of women, primarily white women. Women of color wouldn't be dealing with sexism any longer, but they would still be dealing with racism. Similarly, women who identify as lesbian wouldn't be dealing with sexism either, but they would be dealing with heterosexism. Unfortunately, eradicating one form of oppression, such as sexism, still leaves out a whole slew of others. Intersectionality says that in order to have a true egalitarian society, we have to acknowledge all other forms of injustice: racism, classism, ableism, cissexism, colorism, heterosexism, and colonialism, just to name a few. We as a society, not just women, have to work together to abandon our predisposed, socialized notions that certain races are superior to others, or that people with certain abilities are superior or inferior to others. While it is so important for us to unify and to understand intersectionality, it is also okay for us to create our own spaces. That is not the problem. I know it is only human nature but to potentially want different things, right? We exist as individuals with varying races, religions, gender identities, partisanship, sexual orientations. And it's okay that some female-identified people may not be able to relate to the experiences of other female-identified people. I realize as a white woman that I can never understand the oppressions faced by a woman of color from firsthand experience. We can accept these things, but the profound problem arises when we allow these differences to divide us, rather than finding solidarity among each other. We must let go of this notion of sameness so we can now accept that every woman was created with different experiences. We need to let go of the concept of sameness and global sisterhood, because a woman in my position, a privileged white woman in college, is not fighting for the same things as a woman my age is in Yemen. why I'm fighting for the right to comprehensive reproductive health care and looking to decline in the wage disparities between men and women, she is fighting for her right to a basic education. We cannot fuel this message of sameness because the intersections of our oppression are so far removed from one another. We must not create this image of an equitable oppression, but rather understand our differences and unify. We need to take a step back and question, how am I welcoming? How am I supporting? How am I privileging myself over others? How can I find flaw and question disparities without just blindly accepting them? It is okay for us to create spaces and for others to create theirs, but we must all come from a place of respect and acknowledgement. It is so important to understand that feminism is intersectional just as many other things are. In a generation criticized for our apathetic and indifferent nature, I stand here before you reiterating the importance of feminism and urge others to consider the importance of intersectionality and to never forget that movements crumble when they are divided. It is not enough to merely coexist. It is imperative to unify in solidarity and have mutual support among us. Thank you.